Founded January 29, 1892, Coca-Cola has been a leader in the beverage industry, and it's one of the most recognizable brands ever created. In this video, I'm going to explain why in 2020, Coca-Cola should still be a staple in your long-term dividend stock portfolio.
I like to teach the world to sing with me. Perfect harmony, perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. That's the real thing. I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, perfectly. And I'd like to buy the world a Coke and keep it company. It's the real thing.
My name is Zach, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You should never invest in a business you don't understand. So in this video, I'll be providing a full picture look at the business and stock history of Coca-Cola. The power of Coca-Cola comes from its brands. They own hundreds of brands across many sectors of the beverage industry. They develop these brands through in-house operations and making strategic acquisitions. In soft drinks, they own Coca-Cola, of course, Sprite, Fanta, Schweppes, Fresca, and more. Each of these brands has countless products and variations. Just look at Coca-Cola, for example. They have regular Coke, Coke Zero Sugar, vanilla, cherry, orange vanilla, Diet Coke, Coke with coffee, and even a Coca-Cola energy drink. They continue to innovate and uphold the values of each brand. In water and hydration, they own Dasani, Smart Water, Powerade, Vitamin Water, and more. Once again, the power of the Coca-Cola company is in marketing and brand development. They treat water brands like Smart Water with the same level of care as Coca-Cola. Additionally, they own Minute Maid, Simply, and Fairlife Milk. They own Georgia and Costa Coffee, as well as Fuse and Gold Peak. So as you can see, the Coca-Cola company is not just Coca-Cola, as they have a growing list of additional brands added to their portfolio. The most well-known investor in Coca-Cola is Warren Buffett, and last year he earned over $640 million in dividends from Coca-Cola. In 1998, he shared his thoughts about Coca-Cola to Florida University, and I'd argue that everything he said then is still true today in 2020, and will be for the next 30 years.
Coca-Cola went public in, I think it was 1919. Stock sold for $40 a share. It went back before that, it was the Candler family, and they went back, they bought it for $2,000, the whole business. A's the Candler back in the late 1880s in a couple of purchases. So now he goes public in 1919, $40 a share. 1 year later, it's selling for $19, gone down 50% in 1 year. Now you might think that's some kind of disaster, and you might think that sugar prices increased and the bottlers were rebellious and a whole bunch of things. You could always find a few reasons why that wasn't the ideal moment to buy it. Years later, you'd have seen the Great Depression, and you'd have seen World War II, and you'd seen sugar rationing, and you'd seen thermonuclear weapons, and the whole thing. There's always a reason. But in the end, if you'd bought one share for $40 and reinvested the dividends, it'd be worth about $5 million now. And that factor so overrides anything else. I mean, if you're right about the business, you'll make a lot of money. And the timing part of it is a very tricky thing. So I don't worry about any given event if I've got a wonderful business, what it does to next year or something of the sort. I don't buy Coke with the idea that it's going to be out of gas in 10 years, or 15 years. There could be something happen, but I would think the chances of that are almost nil. So what we really want to do is buy businesses that we would be happy to own forever. If people are drinking Coke today, they drink 5 of them today, they'll probably drink 5 tomorrow. Think of Disney. Disney is selling, we'll say, home videos for, I don't know what, $16.95, $18.95, or whatever. All over the world, people, and we'll say particularly mothers in this case, have something in their mind about Disney. Every person in this room, when you say Disney, has something in their mind about it. If I say Universal Pictures, you don't have anything in your mind. If I say 20th Century Fox, you don't have anything special in your mind. If I say Disney, you've got something in your mind. And that's true around the world. Now picture yourself with a couple of young kids, who you want to put away for a couple hours every day so you get a little peace of mind. And if you get them one video, they'll watch it 20 times. So you go to the video store or wherever you buy the video. Are you going to sit there and premiere, 10 different videos and watch them each for an hour and a half to decide which one your kid should watch? No. Let's say there's one there for $16.95 and the Disney's there for $17.95. If you take the Disney video, you're going to be okay. So you buy it. And you don't have to make a quality decision on something that you don't want to spend the time to do, and so you can get a little bit more money if you're Disney, and you'll sell a lot more videos. Makes it a wonderful business. Makes it very tough for the other guy. How would you try to create a brand? DreamWorks is trying, but how would you try to create a brand that competes with Disney around the world and to replace the concept that people have in their minds about Disney with something that says Universal Pictures? You know, so that the mother's going to walk in and pick out a Universal Pictures video in preference to a Disney. It's not going to happen. You know, Coca-Cola is associated with people being happy around the world. Where every place they're happy. Where Disney World or Disneyland, where the World Cup will be at the Olympics. Where every place where people are happy. Happiness and Coke go together. Now, you give me, I don't care how much money, and tell me that I'm going to do that with RC Cola around the world and have 5 billion people that have a favorable image in their mind about RC Cola. It can't get done. You know, and you can fool around with you can do anything you want to do. You know, have price discounts on weekends and everything, but you're not going to touch it. And that's what you want to have in a business. That's the moat, and you want that moat to widen.
The concept of the moat is one of Warren Buffett's top principles in investing. In Coca-Cola, the brand is that moat. Decades of advertising and brand development has earned the company massive loyalty. Coca-Cola provides this experience and branding to all of their other products. The power of this branding is farther explained by Buffett in this clip.
There's always been a struggle between the retailer and brands. I mean, if I've got a terribly weak brand and I want to get into Walmart, I'm not going to be able to do it. You know, I mean, I have to offer all kinds of crazy concessions, you know, and I want to be in Walmart if I have some sort of consumer packaged goods. The negotiation is way different if you have something essential versus non-essential. 10 years ago, Costco tried to get rid of Coca-Cola. Costco's got terrific loyalty among customers, and you know, and their own Kirkland brand is a $39 billion brand now, and it moves from category to category, and they only started in 1992. So they know brands, and but in the end, they put Coca-Cola back in. If it had been Royal Crown Cola, they wouldn't have had to put it back in. So there's always that struggle between the brands. I mean, and there always will be. But the retailers net, it has been moving in their direction, particularly, I think, because of the Amazon revolution.
First Walmart, and then
Walmart.
Right, and then
Walmart.
Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, but it's been accentuated. Yeah. I think we have a new retailing environment now. I mean, it isn't like it goes from night to day, but it moves somewhat.
Although the retail environment has changed with Amazon and online shopping, the power of a good brand remains true. Coca-Cola continues to innovate their products and marketing strategy.
Coke has been in the movies from the very beginning. A wall sign in the background, a bottle on the table in front. And it's because the Coca-Cola was organic to the scene.
They want their characters drinking Coke, Smart Water, vitamin water.
In the late 50s, early 60s, Coca-Cola set up an office in LA to be in Hollywood, to make it easier to get the product on the sets for the actors to enjoy, to be able to get the signs there. And then in the 90s, Coca-Cola hired Premier Entertainment to take over that role.
We're here at Premier Entertainment, and we place Coca-Cola products in movie, television, music videos. This is our warehouse, and as you can see, we have period Coca-Cola bottles, signs, modern-day Coke, Diet Coke cans. All the things you need for a production for feature film and television shows, we house right here.
There are front lines with producers, with studios. We have an arsenal of props, vending machines, different cans, old pieces of footage. We are very specific about how our product needs to be used. It needs to be in line with the brand values and strategically in line with, where we're going as a company.
As our product portfolio expands, you see it recreated on the screen. As an actor walks around with a Smart Water bottle, it's because that's probably what they're walking around with in real life.
The Hub is a team that connects our social marketers around the world, trying to understand how our consumers perceive our company. They're always talking about us. There are 33 mentions of Coke per minute in English. It's been really exciting to be a part of the Hub, and as we built this and built this capability for Coca-Cola, this great 130-year-old brand, and here we are on the cutting edge of technology. So just as soon as we think we've got something nailed down, it's going to evolve. There's going to be a new social network. There's going to be a new place that people are engaging and a new way they're engaging, and we're going to have to adapt to that and make sure our marketers know how to adapt to that.
This year, Coca-Cola is launching their first in-house developed new brand in over 10 years called AHA. This is a sparkling water brand meant to compete with the likes of LaCroix in the expanding sparkling water market. Here's a clip of their president of Stills Business talking about its launch.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
This is a big deal, right?
It is a big deal for us. I mean, it's for us the biggest, as you said, the biggest launch for us of a new brand in over a decade. It is simply put a flavored sparkling water. It's going to be a vibrant brand, a bold brand, and a brand that's really a unique combination of accessible flavors, but more unique, differentiated flavors. And we're going to launch it with real scale. It's, for us, really part of this total beverage strategy mission that we're on to expand the company beyond our core sparkling business, which we see real growth in and continue to see growth in. We see really enormous potential in multiple segments in the US market, and water really is at the core of that. If you look at what's happening in water today, it's generating almost as much retail dollar growth as all other beverage segments combined, and sparkling water is almost half of that. So we just see enormous potential with this differentiated proposition. We saw the opportunity, we pushed on it with real speed, and we're ready to launch it with
Real
scale.
speed. How long ago did this get started?
I can tell you this was start to finish in 7 months. So that is obviously a fast development cycle in the context of CPG. We're not new to this category. We know water intimately with brands like Smart Water, Dasani, a fast growth brand like Topo Chico. But we saw an opportunity here and we wanted to move on it with a very differentiated proposition.
It looks to me like AHA will be able to pick up significant market share in the seltzer water space. I personally haven't tried it yet, but their name, color scheme, and marketing material seems very good. Now don't get me wrong, Coca-Cola is a mature company and no longer a growth stock. You won't see massive annual growth like it has had in decades past, but the fundamentals are strong and the business will expand slowly and pump out consistent profits for decades and likely centuries to come. However, not everyone thinks right now is a good time to buy Coca-Cola. Robert Kovacs, a writer who focuses on long-term dividend investing, argues that Coca-Cola stock is still overvalued. His argument rests on the premise that your money could be better allocated in a higher yield dividend stock. He admits that Coca-Cola will not fail to pay its dividend, but he questions its ability to grow over time. And this is a reasonable concern as the company is mature and has seen declining revenues in recent years. However, this decline in revenues is from the refranchising of its bottling operations. This converted company-owned bottling plants to new franchisees. This will lead to overall lower revenues but higher profit margin as costs decline. This process is nearly complete and revenues are now increasing again and would likely continue to rise in 2020 if not for the uncertainty of the economic shutdown. In terms of dividends, Coca-Cola has seen 57 years of dividend growth, a 5.57% 5-year growth rate, and currently has a 3.63% dividend yield. So right now you can actually buy Coca-Cola at one of the highest yields in the past decade. Coca-Cola's plans for growth comes through acquisitions, brand growth, and continued growth in international and developing markets. Coca-Cola may no longer be the growth stock it once was, but it will show to be a consistently growing and reliable dividend stock that you can count on for decades, if not centuries to come. Coca-Cola is one of my holdings in my long-term dividend stock portfolio, and I plan on being one of my largest consumer defensive dividend stocks. I currently have 18 shares of Coca-Cola with a cost per share of $43.99 and a 3.73% dividend yield. Personally, I'll be buying more when it's around this yield, especially if it gets up to a 4% plus yield. However, don't take my advice blindly and be sure to do your own research before making any investment decisions. Thank you for watching the 4th video of Dividend Data, and I'd love if you could show some support by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I'll be giving you an update on my portfolio every month and making videos like this every week. If you follow me on Twitter, link in the description, you can get real-time updates of my buys and dividends coming in. I hope you leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.
I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing.